it's an honor to actually sit with you. I will just get right to it. I am with Honorable Dennis Namdi. I actually would prefer to put Honorable Namdi Dennis Agbo. He's an honorable member, House of Representatives, representing Iweze North Udenu Federal Constituency of Enugu State. Good day, sir.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
How do you feel? How do you feel getting your victory back? Let's just start with that.
I feel happy, obviously. I feel excited. Happy in the sense that it is not good when people have given you their mandate for you to lose it. I believe it's my responsibility to keep the mandate popularly given to me, a popular mandate given to me by my people. So when this is threatened, I believe it's my responsibility to chase the mandate and recover it for the good of the people. The reason is that there is, for their House of Representatives, for that particular constituency, that's a person they want to represent them. My people have somebody in their mind, and that person is me. They want me to represent them. If they therefore come out and vote for me and give me their mandate, and then somehow, because of the ills and the failings of society, that mandate is threatened, it is my responsibility to pursue that mandate and recover it. In fact, the recovery of mandate is an additional proof that you are able to discharge the responsibilities of the mandate. First of all, reclaim that mandate on behalf of the people. It is not good for... The worst thing that can happen to society is that people exercise their choice, and that choice is thwarted. It is not good at all.
Okay. We learned that during the election, you went to one of the... Well, some people dread the place, but you felt it's your constituency. It's part of the people if you were elected to lead. But you went there nonetheless, and a lot of people won't even do that, let alone take their first son with them. What influenced that?
Yeah. Number one, if you ask me what influenced that, I should say this thing about representing people is about service, and that's the way I understand it. Other people may understand it any other way. It's about service, and to serve, you have to be the least. You cannot be the greatest when you serve. We have examples of service. So therefore, if the people I'm wanting to represent are locked up somewhere called the den of bandits, I cannot pretend or assume that I'm representing them when I cannot reach where they are. These people, they are made to pay some kind of ransom to conduct their daily life to people who have besieged the place. I have to go and find out how are they doing, because they are part of the constituency. If without them, the constituency is not complete. So we have to go there, ask them for their vote, explain our programs for them, find out how they are doing, and then put myself in their situation. And then that is the best way you can devise a solution to their problem. So I had to go. People say it was dangerous. And I said, how can it be dangerous? I belong to this place. This is my constituency. I represent everybody here. I have only tried to represent my people. I have not done any other thing. I have not muzzled them. I have not oppressed them. I have not stolen from them. I have grown up among them. And I have not done any evil. I'm not accused of anything that is untoward in my community. I have not taken what does not belong to me. I'm not going to even chase what does not belong to me. I'm not going to try to take what does not belong to me. I have not sent young men to go and play thuggery for me. I have not sent people to go and kill for me. I don't have a band of armed robbers that I breed. I don't have any evil person that can say I am the one lending him protection. I am not part of any evil system. Therefore, Why should somebody want to hurt me or to do it? I didn't send anybody to go and rob for me or to go and kill for me. So I have only built schools. I've only intervened on electricity distribution, water, empowerment, name it. These are the good things I've just lent my life to do for them. And they know me. They know I'm not telling them a lie when I tell them, oh, I've built this school. I will name the school. They can associate and relate with the schools or the projects that I've done. Nobody thinks evil about me in my place. So I said, we're going there. Let me see the kidnapper or the bandit that will come and take Dennis Agbo. What are you taking me for? Is it for the bad I've done or for the good I have done? So we went. And then going, I had to show my people that, look, I mean this thing to the best of my intentions. So I went with my first son. He is schooling now in the UK. We went together. So, and on our way going, the car broke down. We had to come out from the vehicle. And that was in the midst of these bandits. And but they were watching us from their hideout, from their den, and they must have asked among themselves, who is this person coming in here? And they say it's Dennis Agbo. And they said, look, leave that one alone. I didn't feel there was nothing like anybody bothering us. Nobody bothered us. Nobody disturbed us. They watched us. We finished cutting trees and putting on the road to enable the cars to pass. And we passed and we continued to where we went to for the campaign. We campaigned successfully. And the people, you can imagine the excitement. I was the only person who ever came there to campaign. No other person did. So today, I am one with them. And they know how and why they can say that I'm one with them. Nobody else can claim that. So if this thing about serving, it takes some of that kind of engagement with your people. Extreme engagement.
Okay. What is your plan if your opponent, I'm talking about Atigwe, Honorable Atigwe, if he appeals, what is your plan?
My plan would be to meet him in court. If he appeals, we'll meet in court. And, for me, I have found out that if we have to repair our society, it will take some of this work. Okay, for my election to just become a candidate, I went to the court 7 times. I went to the Supreme Court 2 times. I went to the appeal court, this appeal court they are talking about. I went there 2 times. I went to the High Court 3 times. That's how many times and I won all those 7 cases, back to back. Okay, because I will, like I said, I will not take what does not belong to me. But if you want to take what belongs to me, I will fight for it. So if they decide to go on appeal, I'll go and meet them. One thing is true. I will not even go to a family meeting, not to talk of a court, if I lost an election. I won't even complain to a neighbor. I will walk away. But if I have won an election and there's a threat to take that mandate, I will fight it with everything that I've got because my people expect me to do that. And okay, yesterday when this judgment was given in my favor, and I was declared the rightfully elected candidate or member for my federal constituency, come and see the spontaneous joy in my town, in the 2 local governments, everywhere. People were doing cannon shots. People were buying drink, thanking God, going to church, going to mountain, praising God, singing, praising, feeling happy. Everybody. The whole people in my constituency, they were all excited. They were filled with joy. Now, for that joy in the hearts of my people, on their faces, the smile and laughter on their faces, I can do anything. So going to appeal court is normal. If that's the process of asserting that, yes, this mandate is mine. Okay? Now, and I hope you know how we came here, so that it's not like I am anxious at what will happen in appeal court. There can only be one thing that will happen. That's confirmation of my mandate. That's the only thing that will happen. And in all of this, I have God with me, and I take that seriously. I take that one seriously. It's an advantage I have. So I have no fear in my mind at all. I fear only one person. I fear God, and when I fear Him, I have no other fear in my mind.
Okay.
So we'll meet them in court. And by the way, even certain issues that I'm not happy with that judgment, I'm going to cross appeal. So they're going to appeal. Me too, I'm going to appeal. Even though I want but certain things need to be put right. Certain pronouncements of the tribunal that I don't agree with, I'm still going to cross appeal. That is how serious it is. Because we are building our electoral jurisprudence. So as we are going, we are picking the experience, we are trying to correct things. Even my experiences on all this journey will form a mandate I have, even when I go back to the House of Representatives, in terms of making laws and legislation.
Okay. I would ask the next question. Are you going to return to the House immediately, or will you wait after the appeal?
I want to return. The order of the court is very clear that a certificate of return should be issued to me immediately, and that I should be sworn in and inaugurated into the Federal House of Representatives. So I expect that my swearing in should be immediate. If because the other candidate wants to go to appeal, and they want to wait till they exhaust their right of appeal, so be it. But the order of the court of the tribunal is very clear that I should be inaugurated immediately, and certificate of return should be issued to me, and the one issued to him should be withdrawn. That's the order of court. Okay. So I expect the court, I expect INEC, I expect everybody to obey the order of court.
Okay, you've not actually yet assumed when there was a particular, bill of some sort that was passed for the legislators, as in talking about slashing their salaries to half. And what is your take on that?
It's a token, but it's just like to indicate that, okay, the National Assembly want to be in solidarity with the Nigerian people. Things are hard, that this is what we can also do. But I want to say it's just like a token. More can be done. More can be done. More and much more can be done. It's not, how much is our salary? Our salary is small.
How much is it?
My salary as at the time is not more than 650,000 naira in a month, and then they take the tax. So if you talk of half of it, about 200 and something thousand, it's really nothing, because they talked about salaries.
Okay. So talking about representation,
That's 650 in a month.
Okay, that means it's like over 300 plus. If you're to cut the salary.
But you have not removed the tax. If you remove the tax, it may be less. That's why I say 200 and something thousand.
Okay. So talking about representation, before you got this far and you got this victory, you knew there were oppositions. Are you going to be, what kind of representation are you going to be doing? Would you carry everybody along, including those that fought against you, or would you segregate?
See,
there's a saying that it says you dine you keep the devil at a distance. So we want to know
the thing is, I'm going to represent everybody, and my people know that I represent everybody. Some people say this is a game, and I don't like this kind. I don't like playing the politics in this kind of way. So we want to, clean up our mandate, confirm our mandate, affirm our mandate. But after that, we go to work. Our people know that I work for them. They know that this 1 year they have lost a lot. I was inaugurated into the National Assembly in June last year. And by November, when I left my seat in the National Assembly for all these troubles, I had constructed 2 classroom blocks, started from foundation and finished it. One in Oda, one in Umobego. It was rainy season at that time. I was barely saying, so help me God, at my inauguration. And they told me that a classroom block had fallen and children were schooling under the tree. I had to shop around the whole federal ministries and agencies to get an agency that will help me construct the classroom back. So within, let's say, the first month, at the end of the first month or the beginning of the second month of my being in the house, they were already laying the foundation to construct a classroom. And it was finished, plastered, painted, tiled, sealed, everything completed, and then the classroom was handed over to the community. That was done. Then the other one again, the next community now came and said, okay, we have a dormitory. The students don't live in dormitories again. We want to use that dormitory for an examination hall. So to convert that dormitory, we had to pull it down because it was even decrepit. We pulled it down, reconstructed a brand new examination hall. It was also finished, done with, painted, tiled, sealed, finished. Before that November. Before that November, another community called Umagwedeg, they came, that they have made some community efforts to do rural education for themselves. And I say, how far have you gone? They say, okay, they are just looking for a transformer. I purchased a transformer for them with which they were able to complete their rural education project in Umagwedeg. The same thing happened at Umadonowo. They came, almost the same problem. I gave them a transformer with which they completed their rural education project. At the same period, again, within the same 6 months or 5 months, if you go to Boleke, from the market, a distance of about 1.5 kilometers to the church, St. Patrick's, the whole church compound have put solar street lights there that lights the compound completely in the night. Then from the market to that college. It was when we were doing campaigns, and we had to come to this particular church in the night, conducting our campaign, that I looked at such a massive school to be in that state of darkness, no light, no electricity connection there. So I now said, okay, when I get into the House of Reps, this is one of the very first things I'm going to do. So, putting solar street lights and lighting that entire compound of St. Patrick's was part of the things I also did within the same period. And so on and so forth. So those 5 projects, the 2 classroom blocks, the 2 electricity projects, and the solar street light project, all of them were completed within 5 months. Now, so you can imagine if I have been there for the last 1 year or almost 1 year, this is the way projects will be rising around the constituency. Rising for people in Labour Party, people in PDP, people in other APC, other political parties. The delivery of dividends of democracy does not recognize party. Everybody is a member of the constituency. You can belong to your political party, but you go to the same school that I built. I built a technical college, finished in my first tenure, which everybody attend. Everybody attends the school, whether you are from Labour Party or whether you're from APC or PDP. Everybody goes to school. So I serve everybody, and our people actually know. I don't play too much of politics. If anything, I'm in a hurry to deliver service. I'm not in a hurry to play politics. But our people know that the best politics you can play is the politics of service. So you could also say that I understand my politics very well. But I play politics through service. And that is the most enduring kind of politics you can play.
Okay, talking about bandits, you did mention about the fact that a section of that constituency has bandits. What is your plan as regards
okay, let me tell you
that?
This visit to that community that was besieged was when I was conducting my campaign. Immediately I won the election in June. I won it in February. We were inaugurated in June, and I came into office. everything about banditry started disappearing. They started, because I was away from office for 4 years. Then we started talking about banditry within my constituency. When I came into office without shooting a gun, without raising a finger, everything started disappearing. Security came back. Young men were not being killed again. Nobody, all those criminality, they all started disappearing. Why? Because the man of peace has come. I have nothing to do with crime. I don't send children or young people to go and do crime. And without even holding a town hall meeting, everything started disappearing. And I tell you, if I had remained in office till now we will not be talking about anything about young men in the bush would have come out and taken an enterprise, taken up something to do, find them something to do. And that is my responsibility.
So you think it's because they didn't have a proper leader?
Thank you. They also didn't have a good leader. They didn't have a good leader. They have people who think that they have to muzzle, force people. They don't have the culture of tolerance. They think that it's take it or leave it. No, you have to build a consensus. Consensus building is the responsibility of a leader, and you have to show by examples. It's not a do or die. You have to teach I was a banker. I left the bank as a general manager before I got into government to serve as a commissioner. So I want young people to also experience a life of career, a career life. They don't have to get into criminality or to banditry they are entitled to a good life. And it is the responsibility of all the leaders to guide them so that they can have the good life. They can discover what they can do with their life and actualize themselves. So when leaders are not doing that and they are carrying people to stand behind them like this, I mean, when I get into office, I find young people who come to me and say, if I'm coming home, you tell us so that I can come and receive you. I said, no. That's not what you are supposed to be doing. I said, what do you do now? I mean, IMT, I finished from IMT, but I don't have money to do my clearance. I would have gone for you service. I said, okay, this person, this is my PA or whoever, go with this man, calculate how much is this clearance money he's looking for. We'll give him the money, he will go for his youth service. He's not supposed to be walking behind me. He's not supposed to be waiting for me to start walking in front of me. That is not, I don't need anybody to do that for me. If I need security, the security agencies are there. But my young people are supposed to be in school, be in the bank, be teachers, be, whatever you want to do. Drivers, bricklayers, construction workers, engineers, architects, that's what young people are supposed to be. I am an accountant, and I've actualized myself. So why should I be telling a young man to come and stand behind me? That's not what you are born to do. You are supposed to actualize yourself, be a media person like you. And I have a very comprehensive plan to guide people to do that. Guide people into their profession, into their different enterprises that they can go into. It is part of the core of my constituency intervention.
So you feel that the leadership they had before was more like a subterfuge?
What I mean is that the leaders they had were people who never thought that these people are entitled to a good life. They thought that because they are leaders, they lord it over the other people, that they are a superior type of being. No, nothing makes us superior. Nothing makes us superior. If anything, we the leaders are supposed to be servants. And the best way to lead is to be a servant leader. The best way to play politics is to play the politics of service. I have played it. People didn't understand it initially. Now they understand it. Now they know it is the thing that endures. Today, somebody called me on phone. The same person, one of the two people that used to come to me and say, when you are coming, you tell us. He called me. He was rejoicing with me. Because they know that I don't pretend about these things. I mean it. That is me. I don't guide people to criminality. I don't do it. It is wicked. It's a sin before God. So I guide young people. I teach you how to conduct your life, how to manage your time, how to use your resources, how to be a responsible member of society, how to actualize a purpose for your life. God has a purpose for everybody. God has a purpose for people. And the purpose of God for everybody is good. Excellent purpose. So it's for us to discover that purpose and work with God to actualize that purpose. And we the leaders, guide people to discover their purpose and to go ahead and fulfill it. That's what I do.
So now that you said that you've won, what will be your focus? Saying that you've lost more or less, say, a year,
a year.
so you have 3 years. So what will be your focus now?
Unfortunately for us in the legislature, we don't recover tenure. So I have just a balance of about barely have a balance of 3 years. Okay. I have my program clearly worked out before this disruption. I will just go back to where I stopped and continue. It is exciting to know that since this judgment was given yesterday, agencies of government, ministries of government, they have been calling me to rejoice. Director generals of agencies, because I don't get lazy. I work, and I work with these agencies. I work with them to enable them realize and perform their mandates, the mandate of their agency. Many of them have already keyed in when I came in for this other tenure, when I was inaugurated last year. They've already come in. We've already created programs. We're already working on them. Now this disruption came, and it was like they were even more devastated than myself. So immediately they started reading in social media that I'm back. All of them started calling back. They are calling back, and they can't wait for the work to start. And we'll continue, because this country has a problem. We have issues. And it is for us to solve the problem. Leaders solve problems. It is not spirits that come to solve problems. And when I was in my first tenure, and we had this issue of herdsmen, banditry, and all of that, I created a legislative intervention in that regard. I knew that it's about the problem between the farmers and the herders, because they roam and they match the crops of farmers, and then there's conflict, and then the people are killed, people die. Sometimes the bandits, the terrorists, infiltrate the ranks of the herders to conduct because in the night when people are moving with some few cattle, like, you don't know whether they are actually herders or whether they're terrorists moving from one part of the country to the other. And I asked myself, in other climes where people achieve high level of animal husbandry, do they roam? Do they move from place to place? The answer is no. In Australia, in Ireland, in UK, in America, they don't move. They stay in one place. How then do they do it? They transform their animal husbandry system. They modernize it through artificial insemination, through the food, that's the grass, the grazing stock. Okay? And all of that. Then the baling, all the things you use to harvest the feed of the grass, and then feed it to the animals, fortify it, and so on and so forth. Blend the types of nutritious grass, legumes, carbohydrate, and all of those things. You combine them. Make sure that when these animals eat these things, they grow fat. And don't forget, when an animal eats the grass or eats food and is walking along the whole stretch, trekking from northern Nigeria to southern Nigeria, the whole thing is burnt. So we don't even conserve the nutrients to make the animal grow and produce meat. Because they are roaming, our milk production is almost zero. And I checked in the whole world that we have all the trouble, but that we don't even rank among the first 10, whether in meat production or in milk production. But look at the transformation that happened in Rwanda. The Hutus and the Tutsis are the same herders and the farmers. The Hutus are the herders. The Tutsis are the farmers. So the same thing that caused a pogrom there was the same problem we're having here. What did they do? They transformed the animal husbandry system. They ranch the animals. They stay in one place. And now they've become a tourist destination in Africa, one of the most progressive states. So I'm going to go back and get busy. There are programs I'm working. Now today, the country is grappling with hunger, starvation, shortage of food, food insecurity. Now, I know what to do. I know what to do. I have a farm. In fact, my core of job creation, economic empowerment of my people this time around is about the development of a poultry cluster within my constituency. In a poultry cluster, you need to have a hatchery, you need to have a feed mill, you need to have a processing facility to process the meat. Okay? And you need to have an off-taking arrangement. Then you need to be able to train the band of smallholder farmers. Then you need to give them some kind of microcredit. These are the things required. And I have it worked out. I'm already working, the people calling, part of the people calling me now, are people I'm working with to implement a hatchery within my constituency, because there's no hatchery actually, no standard hatchery within the entire Southeast. For you to buy a day-old chick, DOC, you have to go as far as Ogun State, Oyo State, Kaduna State, and so on. This is where you can get a DOC. When you buy DOCs from there, before you get your mortality would have consumed a number of those chicks. Now, we want to have a hatchery within the constituency where people can just shift and buy 400 beds and go behind their house and conduct a poultry farm. If they do 400 beds and they earn 500 naira per bed at maturity, that is 200,000. How many people? The minimum wage in Nigeria now is 70,000. And it is not 500 naira they will make. Now, the person can have 400 beds in 2 months maturity. After a while, the person can have 2 cycles of 400 beds maturities, so that he can be having monthly maturities of 400 beds per month. So the person makes an income, legitimate income, with pride, with dignity, of 200,000 naira every month. Everybody that works with me, my so-called political associates, I tell everybody, have another address. Politics is not a profession. I have finished a career before I came into government. And I use the word government carefully, because I prefer to say government than to say politics. Politics means nothing. It's the way to get into government. So we talk about government. But people say they are professional politicians. I don't know what they mean by that. So I talk about government. Before I got into government, I have garnered my experience, my self-confidence, my network, nationally, internationally. I've done what I call achievements in my life. I've accomplished them. Then those things recommended me to now come and lend service to my state. Like I said, in 2003, that's 21 years ago, I left UBA as a general manager. So, by now, I should be part of the people trying to contribute to how do we move Nigeria forward. If you try to do it from the private sector, you might not be able to do as much as you can do from the public sector. That is why we are in government. Government gives you a wider sphere of influence to impact more lives. But it's about impacting lives. It's not about oppressing people. It's not about leading people the wrong direction. It's not about administering oath to a counselor that wants to, the young man that wants to be a counselor. You can come and swear oath. Oath for what? Oath of allegiance? To who? To me or to God? Owe your allegiance to God. If I help you today and you say you want to forget tomorrow, so be it. Nobody is a slave to me. Nobody. I was not a slave to anybody. And I'm not even a slave to anybody today. We are all under God, and that is how it's supposed to be.
Okay. So, matching with that means what they call political godfather. You don't have a political godfather.
I have only one godfather in heaven. I'm telling you. And I'm serious. And I want everybody to know it doesn't even pay to think you want to be anybody's godfather. look at the trouble, unnecessary trouble, I call it, that we have in Rivers State. Unnecessary. If you finish your tenure, for goodness sake, you turn your back and go. I was a commissioner here. By the time I finished the first tenure of the government, I returned to my office. During that time, we were playing politics before the new tenure of the same government was inaugurated. I was already back into what I was doing. Then they called me back. Oh, you've been reappointed. Then rumors started. They want to make him governor. I said, look, I have something to do. I have something to do. When I'm in government, I apply myself fully. God is my witness. The permanent secretary can bear me out of my ministry that time. I was running my ministry with my personal money. I'm not lying. I'm telling you. Your Oga knows because we're in government together. He knows I ran my ministry with my money. So that is me. So government is not something you want to hug and hold, and you don't even want anybody to come near. No, because it's not a place to enjoy. If you want to make money, there's a private sector with limitless opportunities. They don't have salary for a private sector businessman. You make as much money as you want to make. If I breed 1,000 birds this month, and I make 500 naira on them, and I make 500,000 on them, okay? Then next month I can decide I'm going to do 10,000 birds. I'm making 500 naira on each. I'll make 5 million in a month, which the state will get 5 million in a month if it is your income, so to speak. That is why when I also am in government, I recognize the difference between my salary and my constituency running cost. Constituency running cost is supposed to be applied to running the constituency. I used to tell people, if you go to the technical college that I built for over 100 million, there is no budget item in the Federal Republic of Nigeria that says Igugu Technical College, because I built it out of my constituency running cost. It's not supposed to be pocketed. So that's why I was saying, when you talk about salary, 50% of salary, blah, 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 and I say it's not much. Mm-hmm.
You know, there are cases where you have leaders live outside their constituency, live outside where they are living. What do you say to that? Leaders, for instance, you have a local government chairman of, say, town A, local government A, and the particular chairman is living in local government C.
It is bad. It is wrong. Very, very wrong. For me, I conduct the National Assembly business in Abuja, but I have a constituency I'm representing back here. That means I have two homes, so to speak, because Tuesdays to Thursdays, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we are sitting. Okay? Mondays, we go back. We sit Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, we'll come back. That's how it goes. So, in that case, you can be looking for me here. You will not see me between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. But otherwise, we are supposed to be here with our constituents, understanding their problems, being with them, getting to know them, getting to encourage them. Times are hard, and people need encouragement.
You did mention about the fact that, well, your son is, okay, before I get to that, all the hassles that have happened, you know, with the politics, like they call it, the drag to court, appeal court, and back. Did it make you lose interest in government at any point?
Sometimes you ask, sometimes you really ask yourself, is this thing worth it? But if you are truthful to yourself, you will come to the conclusion that it is worth it. Yes. It is worth it, because what is the alternative? To allow people who should be bandits to be in government. Because you are thinking you are too decent to be there. Sometimes I feel, oh, is it worth it? You have this beautiful office as a banker, blah, blah, blah. You know, you want to just be in your comfort zone, air-conditioned office. But then what will happen to the constituents? You see the degeneration of political thinking. People are beginning to look at politics wrongly. They are talking about oppression of the repression of the people. An individual creates a private detention camp. He puts people of my constituency there. He ties a woman's hand behind her back. You create a private army. Should we watch these things and just say, we are too decent for this? No. Should we watch our place that doesn't have any development project going on, and somebody is representing the place? And our people have, most importantly, they've said, look, Oga, we want you to represent us. Should I shy away and say, no, that thing is dirty and I'm not cut out for this? No. No. My father was a decent man, also civil servant, fit and proper. A time came, the call of duty came upon him. And while he was discharging that call of duty for our people, he died. So I used to tell my people, I have not even come to the point of dying. My father laid his life for my people. So I will do the most that I can. And God has blessed me, by the way. What else would anybody wish for in life that I don't have? What else? I have a fulfilled career. If you talk about my life history, I'm telling you, you think I have lived 3 times. You think I have lived 3 times. Is it my life in business? Is it my career, my banking career? Is it government? You think I have lived 3 times over and over again, because now I've garnered a lot of experience in this government business. If you ask me about my business, if you talk about my business from now, we'll be talking about it tomorrow. Because I've done business and I've done well in my business. I understand business. I'm a trained accountant. But I've also accomplished a career in banking. So what else do I want in this life? I have children that are getting good education and looking up to me, understanding values about life. I'm teaching them godliness, values. I'm giving them a good education. So preparing them to face their own future. What else do I want? I have a lovely wife who is behind me in all of these things, who has come to become one with me in what I'm doing. She now understands, because sometimes women don't understand what their husband is. We understand where we are going. When we bring money, when we earn money, we know that some of this money is for the church. Some of this money is for scholarship. Some of this money is for giving to charity. Because that money can purchase us very lavish holidays in Hawaii. My wife, a woman can think like that. But my wife knows that, look, this man knows that part of this money, a good part of it, will go to charity, will go to the church, will go to God's work, will go to scholarships. Scholarship don't purchase me any luxury or any comfort. No. But somehow we still get by. What do I want in this world? There's nothing I want. Food I have, and I don't think, look, for you to live in Nigeria and you don't think about food and food is available, it's a lot of grace. Because some people have to think hard before their night meal comes. We are trying, we leaders should be working and doing everything that we can to reduce that number of people that go to bed hungry. Working to make sure that cost of food comes down. Working to make sure that people don't have to think hard before they can have food to eat. Food is always affordable in every other part of this world. I don't know how we came to where we are now in Nigeria. That a country as vast, as blessed, with good weather, soil, climate, and everything, can be having food shortage. I don't know. It shouldn't exist at all. And let me say this before I leave that point. I was listening to somebody on TV, and the person has information. It's not just somebody talking. He has information. And he said that the oil of our country has been sold. The previous administration has sold the whole oil of this country to the end of this present administration. And this present administration is now selling the oil for future generations to come. Mortgaging it in forward contracts, mortgaging it in borrowing money, and so on and so on. There must be. Sensible leaders have to discover another source of income for this nation. If we continue to think about oil, we are lazy in the head. Our agriculture can give us 10 times what we get in the oil and gas industry. That is the truth. So we need to think outside the box. We need to begin to do things, innovative things to do. There are so many things that we can do. How about our solid minerals? We're not even thinking about it.
Okay, you did mention about bad roads. What are your moves towards the bad roads in your constituency?
It is terrible. It is a shame that a country as blessed as we are should be having the kind of roads we have, especially, okay, some of these major federal highways. Now, so immediately I got back to the 10th Assembly. I said, no, this thing shouldn't be the case. I moved a motion in the House of Representatives for the immediate rehabilitation and reconstruction of the road. It's a stretch going from Abuja, Kefi, Lafia, Akwanga, Makodi, Otukpo, Obolafo, 9th Mile, and Enugu. It terminates in Enugu. That's the stretch of the road. Now, I discovered when I started making the inquiries that a contract had been awarded to a company called Chinese Harbor Engineering, CHE. They started from the Abuja end, and they were somewhere in Nasarawa State. But the road had become so unserviceable that now travelers have to abandon the entire stretch from Otukpa to Obolafo to 9th Mile. They detour to other local roads, exposing the passengers to dangers, criminality, and so on and so forth, and now going to spoil the other fragile state roads that are in the hinterland. So I moved the motion that, look, in as much as you are coming with this other major project, you need to conduct a palliative maintenance, a remedial work, while the major contract is progressing. Come and do a remedial maintenance so that people can have road to drive on. That was the essence of that motion that I presented in the House of Rep. And I didn't want it to just be a motion. The next moment, I was going to call on the door of the Minister for Works, and he happened to be somebody from this southeast who understands the importance of that road. He understands how strategic the road is. I was going to call and stay in his office, bother him, bother the Minister of Finance, bother everybody that needs to be bothered. Because in Nigeria, it's really a share of the national cake. You need to try to struggle and get your own share. If I have been in the office for the past 1 year, I can tell you there would have been a difference in that road. There must have been a difference, or that otherwise we will be asking ourselves what is happening, what have we done with every naira we have earned in this, because my people also have to have a share. You don't want to think about what that road looks like, coming from 9th Mile to P, to Obolafo, to Tukpa, to Tukpo, to Makodi.
So since you're in the office now, is a given that you're in the office now,
yeah.
What would you do?
I'm going back to the same project. I will go to the senator, myself, all the House of Representatives members that are in that stretch. By the way, when I did that motion, okay, I recruited the other House of Representatives to come. Look, this road is the most important thing we have come here to do. Come and sign off on this motion. Let us move it. And they did. And then I led the motion. I presented the motion. I will go back and recruit everybody again. Why is it that in the last 1 year we have not seen substantial progress? If we don't find a good reason, then we go calling on doors, knocking on doors. There's no need answering a minister, and then you are from this part, and then years will pass and we are not seeing the impact. You have, or it's either one thing or one thing will happen or the other will give. Okay. Because if you are not working, people have to know that you are not working.
Okay. You did mention the fact that your son is schooling in the UK, and well, it's not, one would not say, but you know, there is so much, people have plenty agitations of leaders leaving ordinary Nigerians to school here whilst their kids are schooling abroad. What do you say to that, and why is your son schooling abroad?
When I went to school, I was trained by a widow. My father died early, like I said here. My father died early. My mother was having to raise 8 children. But she made sure that I attended University of Nigeria. University of Nigeria. With 5 kobo meal ticket. 5 kobo meal ticket. We buy it at the beginning of the year. You just buy a whole bunch of meal tickets. You come to the gate of Agbo Ref or Maria Makeba refectory, you tear one and give to the gate man. You enter there and you ate everything you wanted to eat. In my room in Marere Hall, I was in the E wing initially. I went to F wing. In E wing, we were 3 in a room. Later on, EF, when you get to 3rd year, final year, you go to F wing, you are 2 in a room.
What year was that, so that we keep up to date?
I went into the university in 1982.
Okay.
So that, if you ask, that was what the situation.
Yes.
Now, I go to the university, and you see like 16 people in one room. 16 students. There will be nothing I'm doing in this world if I let my child go attend that kind of place. Now, I'm coming. Then it should place the burden on me that, look, something needs to be done. If what we are getting now is not education, where you pack 16 children in one room. Therefore, if you make me the chairman, House Committee on Education, things must change. Don't forget, I have intervened in the area of education, primarily and principally. I've built schools. I've built brand new schools. I've built blocks of classrooms in schools. I'm trying to do my utmost best to make sure that the situation changes. And as I get a more pedestal to influence things in society, I am going to make sure that children of Nigeria must get the kind of education we got in those days. How we got here, I don't know. But every leader must feel the urgency to turn things around. Now, you ask me, how do we? It is not easy to send your children to send your children abroad now. Very, very difficult. Look at the exchange rate. Look at the exchange rate. Now, I may not be able to send any of my children again out. But if I can afford it out of my legitimate income, I would like to give them because if you don't have education, if you think education is expensive, try illiteracy. Your children will not be confident. I am a very confident person. Apart from godliness that makes me confident, I have a good education. A good education. A good education. So I want to give my children a good education. I want to make sure that academic calendar can be predicted. You can predict that somebody is going into a 4-year course and after 4 years the person will graduate. It is when we realize that things are bad that we seek to how to solve it. Food is another critical thing. We need to solve it, and so on and so forth.
You did mention the fact that our educational system is dilapidated.
Yes.
What are you going to do to correct it?
I've spoken about my intervention in the area of education.
Yes.
Go to Agbo Technical College today, which I built. It is the best technical college in Enugu State today. Go there. Don't believe my story. Go and verify.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know if you have any final or last words because we're...
I want to thank my people. Thank the people of my constituency, the ways and not to the federal constituency. I want to thank them for their patience. Thank them for all their patience and support and solidarity. I want to thank them for the kind of spontaneous celebration they went into when the judgment came yesterday in my favor. I want to thank them. It means that these people are with me. And it challenges me to continue this work that we are doing for our people. It will not stop. I will double my efforts, and that's the message I have for them. Thank them. I thank them. I thank them. And I thank God Almighty. He is God Almighty. He can do all things. The miracle of this judgment, the miracle of this judgment cannot be told in an interview like this.
What's your inspiration? Last.
This inspiration for this?
Inspiration for everything you do.
It's God.
Thank you so
I
much.
draw all my inspiration from the scriptures.
Thank
That
you
is,
so much,
thank you.
Honorable Nnamdi Dennis Agbo. It's been an amazing time we just we spent with you, and we believe that moving forward, that beyond saying things, like you're trying to leave a mark, that you're not just going to be the politicians or a leader that just speaks without acting. That God will also back you up to fulfill every of the mandates you've carried out, and your heart will be brought bare to light. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure.